I was supposed to have completed all the work, but because of those demonic hands, I've still got some small things left. I put the various leftover parts from assembling the television rack and the bookshelf into a cardboard box. What should I do with the glass door on the display cabinet? I'll go shop around town and see what I can do. If I get lucky, I'll find one that's the same. Then I'll only need to replace the glass panel. If not, I'll have to buy a new one. The doorknob is clattering. Excellent. The rope I tied around the doorknob is working. Now, Chinami won't be able to bother me anymore. The downside is that I can't leave my room. Going to the toilet would be a problem, but I can finish things off in an hour without Chinami's interference. Feeling satisfied, I get back to work. Next, to arrange the books on the shelf. That's me! The pocket books go on top, the paperbacks and anthologies go in the middle, and the magazines on the bottom. The Reverend's books go in the shelf on my desk. I can't keep working with that noise. Holy shit! What sort of conclusion did you come up with? My urge to punish her resurfaces. Anyway, we'll have to get a professional to fix the door. Yeah, she was just worried about you. The repair cost will be taken out of your allowance. Then I've decided to take it out of your New Year's money. She clings onto my leg. There won't be a next time, okay? We'll have to use Mom's savings for the repairs. Noise of this caliber still wasn't enough to disturb Aunt Chino. Her ability to sleep is frightening. But thanks to that, we might be able to fix it without her knowing. Tell me when the repairman arrives, I'll get back to tidying up. Chinami nods downheartedly. While my sister is quite a handful, she still helps me in a lot of ways. Chinami has a penetrating aura of liveliness around her, which is why I haven't been lonely even after Mom passed away. Finally done. Much to my joy, all of the unpacking has been completed. I'm filled with tears of gratitude. I wonder why it took 4 days. I don't really need to state the obvious, do I? It's not the irony that's making me cry, but the reality of it all. The door has been fixed at a painful cost, which means that the rest of the afternoon will be free time. Rejected. I see, you are thinking about making lunch since it's almost lunchtime. Rejected. What are you buying? Now that you mention it, yours is also broken. The glass is broken just like mine. You're going now? But isn't your piggy bank empty? She grabs onto my arm. Rejected. You want me to lend you money, right? That's even worse. Well, if you want something, you have to offer something in return, you know? That's how life works. Equivalent exchange. Also, who are you calling daddy? Who are you calling daddy? Sorry, but it's a bit tight for me too. I need to buy my own display cabinet.
ちなみのサイドボードとお兄ちゃんのサイドボード、どっちが大切だと思ってるの？
My display cabinet.
眉一つ動かさなかったよ、この人。
Also, you don't need to buy a new one. Only the glass is broken, so you can still use it.
お兄ちゃんだってそうじゃない。
But without the glass, the stuff inside will be covered in dust.
ちなみのだってそうなっちゃうんだよ。
You'll have to live with it.
それおかしいよ。お兄ちゃんの発言にはとても大きな矛盾が見られるよ。
Oh, where?
お兄ちゃんとちなみのサイドボードは全く同じ状態なのに、どうしてお兄ちゃんは自分のサイドボードだけ買おうとするの？
Because it's my money.
うわー。
She finally starts crying. Alright, fine. Let me check how much money I have on me.
はーい。
I somewhat have enough.
お兄ちゃん大好き。
Looks like you'll have to get something under 120 yen.
缶ジュースより安いサイドボードって何？
They can hold one can, can't they?
それはもはや棚として機能してないよ。
That's great. Now your canned drinks won't get dusty.
そもそも缶ジュースなんか飾らないから。
You'll definitely manage. This is you we are talking about.
お兄ちゃんはちなみの何を知ってるの？
I know you were wetting your bed around the time you just started school. She starts crying again. Anyway, there are things you simply can't buy. Deal with it. She stops crying almost immediately and is now fixing her attention on the piece of paper in my display cabinet. What a fast recovery.
あ、これって。
Don't touch it. I grabbed the colored paper in a flash.
好きでしたとか書かれてたような。
You must have misread it. By the way, her feet are missing. Leaving that aside, aren't you going shopping? I tried to change the topic. I can lend you money, but you have to return it.
あ、本
Though the money I'm lending you isn't mine, it's Mom's. We had spent a large amount on moving and the cost of repairing the door. If we bought ourselves the display cabinets, the only thing left in the bank would be Mom's savings. If that's the case, then we shouldn't use it for things outside of our school fees and necessities. We'll need to work if we don't want Aunt Shino handling all the food expenses. I'll treat you to lunch instead.
ありがとう。
Was that directed at me or at Mom?
ちなみ、バイト探してみようかな。
She clings tightly to my arm. You don't have to work. I can easily handle it myself if it's just the food expenses. You've got school and you won't have time for homework.
もう決めたから。
She drags me down the stairs.
ちなみね、商店街のある場所まだ覚えてるよ。
I also remember somewhat. Without saying anything, we head towards the direction of the station.
この街出てからずいぶん経っちゃったけど、意外と忘れないものなんだね。
Actually, we spent roughly at the same time in Hibarigasaki as in the city.
でも、ちなみは学校入ったらすぐ引っ越ししたってイメージだったよ。
Chinami is a year younger than me, so she was even younger when we left. Do you dislike moving?
引っ越しが好きな人なんかいるのかな。
True.
ただ、一度目の引っ越しよりも二度目の引っ越しの方が嫌じゃなかったかな。
I think so too. Compared to our move to the unfamiliar city, this time felt more reassuring. Perhaps it's my attachment with my birthplace. While it's very lonely to be separated from my friends, I look forward to seeing them again. But the thing I look forward to the most is seeing her. Not just her, but possibly meeting my classmates from primary school as well. I can't remember much of their faces except her, though similarly, they've probably forgotten about me too. Aside from being able to meet my old friends, walking around town with Chinami is also worth a mention.
それじゃ、懐かしのひばりが崎探検に出発!
Our pace quickens at the sound of Chinami's voice. We see the station after walking for about 5 minutes. The shops are close to the station, so it seems that I can ride my bicycle here whenever I need to go shopping.
この駅、全然変わってないね。
My memories begin to resurface. The welcome to Hibarigasaki sign is still in good shape.
駅 駅から団体さんが出てきたよ。
They are probably tourists. It's the weekend, so most people have free time.
団体客さん、たくさんお土産買ってひばりが崎のお金落として地元民のちなみたちが払う税金安くしてね。
You don't have a fragment of emotional intelligence, seriously. After taking a few glances at the elderly people on the tourist bus, we then proceed to the shops.
この辺りもパッと見昔と同じ感じがするね。
Supermarkets, varieties, stores, souvenir shops, and private businesses form a line along the street. Nothing has changed. Instead of towering buildings and department stores, you can see family-owned motels and stores with their blinds drawn. While the business here isn't that great, the atmosphere is relaxed rather than lonely. I'm glad it hasn't changed after all these years.
ほんと古めかしいっていうかノスタルジックって言葉がぴったりの街だよね。
Hibarigasaki probably has a long history, though I don't actually know much about it. We might have learned about it in social studies, but I moved away before I got the chance. So I don't know much about this town apart from the tourist attractions. This place prospered as a trading port before, but now it's a commercial center surrounded by a canal and historical monuments. In addition to the canal, this town also has a park, hot springs, shrine, cable cars, and an expansive coastline. Hiking, sea bathing, viewing the autumn leaves, and skiing, a very nice tourist spot all year round. The population of this town is approximately 40,000. This town seems quite significant if you look at the raw numbers, but in reality, this suburb feels much like a country town when compared to the city. From what I've heard, this town's population has been decreasing year after year. Despite having attractions all year round, it's still rather bland and not a very popular place. Furthermore, the transport system is terrible during winter, thanks to the snow piling up, and living here is inconvenient. If I'm not mistaken, Hibarigasaki has a museum and a reference library. I'm better off going there if I want to find out more about this town. I'm quite excited about it, but the most important thing is that I like this town.
お兄ちゃんお兄ちゃん、あれ見たあれ。
Rejected!
なんでいつもちなみの言葉を最後まで聞こうとしないんだよ。
You probably saw your favorite display cabinet in the display window. Until I have a look at the price, rejected.
そうじゃないよ。あそこにちなみの知らないお店があるの。多分ちなみたちが引っ越した後にオープンしたお店じゃないかな。
I turned towards the direction she's pointing at. And sure enough, there was a shop I've never seen before. Is it a cafe? Maybe it opened recently. If it opened right after we moved out, the outside of the store shouldn't look that new. But people might be used to this cafe being a part of this shopping district already. These changes make me feel a bit lonely.
なんかこじゃれた感じで雰囲気良さそうだよね。
As Chinami points out, it is indeed a cafe. Looking through the window pane, the interior has both a retro and modern feel. I suddenly feel the urge to enter. Let's have lunch here before shopping around for the display cabinets.
うん、ナイスアイデア。
We enter the cafe together. We take a look around while the bell on the door rings behind us. Like our impressions from outside, the cafe doesn't have a bad atmosphere at all. The interior of the store has decorative paintings, vases, furniture, and gentle music playing in the background. It's soothing all the fatigue from my work. Customers are coming in one by one. This place seems to be doing pretty well.
お兄ちゃん、あそこ座ろう。
I follow Chinami to a seat by the window.
このお店、思ったより新しいって感じじゃないね。
That's probably because of their choice in the color tones. This cafe must have opened after we moved.
だとしたら7年くらい経ってるし、オープンセールやってるわけじゃないのかな。
So, what do you want? I pass Chinami a menu and start browsing through mine.
むむむ。
I have no idea what the things on the menu are.
ねえお兄ちゃん、ここって本当に喫茶店？
It should be. I've never heard of the stuff on the menu.
いらっしゃいませ。
Oh, hey, it's that
ご注文
girl.
はお決まりでしょうか？
And she's wearing a cute outfit. I guess she's working here. No, about that. I wanted to ask her about the menu, but I stopped myself.
どうかされましたか？
Oh, you can zoom in. Cool. The waitress had a white frilly apron dress and a matching colored hair ornament.
わあ、メイドさんだ。ちなみに初めて見たよ。
What is this place. This misleading retro modern store is actually a maid cafe? This is the first time I've actually been to one. These crazy cafes were targeted towards people in the city, but they've spread to this northern tourist location too? The waitress maintains her professional smile despite our stares. She's probably used to seeing customers being surprised at her outfit. She might have been doing this for a while now. Although she looks to be around the same age as us. Ah! Our mouths drop open at the same time. She asked with a smile used when attending to customers. That's not it, so be quiet for a moment. Blech. I grabbed the salad mayonnaise off the table and shove it into her mouth. Chinami's eyes open wide in surprise before she starts slurping greedily. That's absolutely correct. She's able to maintain her smile even after seeing Chinami's unusual behavior. She's definitely professional. I met this girl in front of Hibari-ko a few times. It seems she also remembers me. She's roughly my age if she's attending that school. As for me, I'll be starting school next Monday as a second year. Yeah, you've misunderstood. This is my younger sister, not my girlfriend. Also, we are not here to sightsee, we moved here recently. I'm going to be attending Hibari-ko next week, so nice to meet you. I get the formalities out of the way. Second year. Her tone quickly changes after finding out that we are the same age. Asuho, huh? I'm Kogasaka Yo. She repeats my name. You know Yume Misaka? She was speaking normally, so I also dropped my formal speech. It's just at the bottom of the hill. But I have to climb that hill every day, so I'm losing motivation already. At least it wasn't like that for primary school. Right. Well, it's a pain to cross over the railroad. Oh, so she also went to that primary school? Good girl, now be quiet. I shove a second tube of mayonnaise into her mouth. She finishes sucking it up in 2 seconds. Wait, isn't that already the third? Because there are 2 empty ones here on the table. This is my younger sister, Kogasaka Chinami. She'll be a first year next week at Hibari-ko. Yeah, I noticed that too. Chinami, those are bad manners, so stop behaving strangely. She's like Hishikata from Gintama. Despite that, she was still happily sucking up the mayonnaise.
Asuho.
Who's that? She reverts back to work demeanor after a manager-like person tells her off. Our conversation comes to an indefinite halt. Astraya?
それはね、天秤座の天秤の持ち主である正義の女神アストライヤーのことなの。アストライヤーは羽ペンと人間の心臓を天秤にかけて、その人間の善悪を判決したと言われてるんだ。アストライヤーのアストロはもともと星を意味していて、 ライアーは女性語尾で乙女を意味するから、アストライアーは星乙女とも呼ばれてるんだよ。
The maid gets absorbed in explaining and completely forgets about our order.
じゃあこの本日のおすすめって書いてあるヘルメスの盾事って？ヘルメスっていうのは泥棒の神様なの。ヘルメスは生まれてすぐに太陽神アポロンの牛を盗んだんだけど、その時見つけたウミガメも一緒に食べちゃって、その甲羅に穴を開けて盾事を作ったんだ。じゃあこのヘルメスの盾事ってすっぽん料理？ハニートースト。
The name had zero connection to the toast, though I'll be perturbed if a maid cafe that actually served turtles.
それでね、ヘルメスは盗んだ牛を取り返しに来たアポロンに見つかっちゃって、慌てたヘルメスは謝罪の意味で甲羅で作った盾事をアポロンに差し出したの。その盾事はアポロンの手を経て銀融詩人オルペウスに渡るんだけど、オルペウスが奏でる盾事の音色は人間だけじゃなくて動物や草木さえも虜にするんだ。そしてある時、オルペウスは妻である聖女エウリュディケイを助けるために冥界に降りて、この盾事は大活躍するんだけど、結局オルペウスは妻を助けられずに。
アスホ、お客さんが困ってるよ。
じゃあヘルメスの盾事はすっぽん料理じゃないから、妻を助けるためにオルペウスの盾事がハニートーストになって。
She's totally confused. Jinami's eyes are going around in circles.
ごめんなさい、私ってばつい。
Yeah, well, I guess I'm okay with it. She was the one who decided on the honey toast, but that's not a problem. I didn't realize when she was talking about Hermes' lure at first. But when she got to the bit about Orpheus' lure, it suddenly hit me. Could you perhaps have been talking about luras? Hearing my words, the maid's face lights up in a flash.
だって今日は七夕だからね。
She skips back over to where the boss is. Orpheus' lure refers to the lure that is formed by Lyra, which is why Orpheus' lure, no, Hermes' lure is today's suggestion. The brightest star of Lyra is Vega, otherwise known as Orihime.
じゃあヘルメスの盾事はすっぽん料理じゃないから、オルペウスの盾事がハニートーストになって、七夕だからメニューを勝手に決められて。
Chinami's eyes are still going around in circles.
お待たせしました。こちら当店自慢のヘルメスの盾事になります。
She places onto the table a plate of honey toast. The top of the ice cream was decorated with bamboo grass leaves.
美味しかったね、お兄ちゃん。
Yeah, we'll probably be coming here regularly in the future. Going to a maid cafe by myself is kind of embarrassing. It seems like everything on the menu is related to the legends of the constellations. I didn't pay attention at first, but the cafe's name, Milky Way, makes sense now. The food was undeniably great, so I'll probably come here after school with the friends I make in my new class.
お父さん、私ちょっと出かけてくるね。学校に大事な用があるんだ。お手伝いサボる埋め合わせは今度するから、あとよろしくね。
Oh, so is the manager her father? That maid's voice wasn't as ear-piercingly loud as Chinami's, but it was loud enough to travel here. She was probably referring to Hibariko. There aren't any classes on Saturday, but she may have club activities or supplementary lessons.
お兄ちゃん見て見て、この店バイト募集してるよ。
Rejected.
お兄ちゃんの返答は否定が多すぎるよ。
You want to work, don't you? You don't have to.
でもこのままだとちなみの小豚貯金箱がかわいそうなんだもん。から風にさらされて風邪でもひいたら困るんだもん。
It's dumb like its owner, so it won't catch a cold.
バカって言う方がバカなんだよ。
The cafe has a recruitment poster stuck to its window. Arubaito. They currently urgently need applications, but I can't possibly work at a maid cafe. If Chinami works here with her demonic hands, the tableware would suffer horrible fates. Thus, I'll have to reject the idea too.
時給900円からってあるよ。夕方のバイトとしては高級だよ。しかも都会と違って客足もそんなになさそうだし、サボっててもバレなさそうだよ。
Aren't the display cabinets more important at the moment? Let's go. I start walking with Chinami pouting behind me. There's no way that I'd let you work. Mom will be worried in heaven.